Film Club.
I'm sorry. I'm not very good at doing stuff lately.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Film Club, and I am one of your hosts, Andy Harrison. To my right, as always, Andy Donaldson.
Yo.
Every single week in Film Club, we invite you along to watch a film with us. We dive into the history of cinema and figure out whether or not this film still holds up. Andy, what have we been watching this week?
Not a film.
Yeah, we actually haven't. Rename it. Rename the whole show. We're going for a rebrand.
Mini-series episode club.
Yeah, mini-series episode club.
It.
Rolls off the tongue.
Stephen King's It, should I say. Not the new one. We're doing it because the new one's coming out. We thought we'd revisit it.
Yep, in honor of this remake, which I just found out, apparently they're doing in 2 parts.
Are there? Wow, that's cool.
Because this mini-series was in 2 parts.
Yeah, cool. There you go. So It, Stephen King. God, it's got to be 10 years since I watched this, if not more. So I just finished watching it today and I was like, I don't remember that.
It's an odd film, isn't it? So what's Stephen King's It about?
Group of kids who get... Well, it's a group. It's a town called Derry.
Durham?
Derry. And it's a group of kids in there who get abducted, killed, maimed, stuff like that, mutilated. And it's a mangled.
Disfigured.
That was a horrible film, The Mangler. I think that was Stephen King as well.
Was it?
Me and Ben watched it when we were fucking 8, mate. And honestly, I had nightmares after.
Amazing.
So, yeah, fucking
You had
horrible.
nightmares from everything when you were 8.
Mangler was horrible because I had this scene where there's this woman all fucking mangled. Mate.
You had nightmares from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I did. So it's about a group of kids and they form a little alliance, losers they call themselves, or the Lucky Seven.
The Loser Club.
The Loser Club or the Lucky Seven or whatever. And they take on It, which is a clown. Or a shape-shifting thing, because it can take the forms of people they know and love, or people they dislike. And they go against It. They think they defeat him, then 30 years later, when they're all adults, they get a call. It's Mike. You need to come back. We made a promise. And they come back to defeat It again. What a fucking great film. I can't believe I never truly appreciated this when I was younger. What the fuck, man?
I know. I had a similar experience actually where
we're going to call it film.
Probably saw this about, we're just going to refer to it as film. Probably saw this about like 10 years ago as well. That was probably about, that's probably about right.
Do you remember most of it? Do you remember the ending?
I remember, there's chunks I remember. I remember the ending where they go back into the sewers, but I don't remember that little bit that happens afterwards.
What, the spider?
I remember the spider.
I don't remember the fucking spider. I was like, no.
So we'll get to all that stuff in a second, but like where this film starts, I'm sitting there thinking, I haven't seen this in ages. Wasn't really looking forward to it, to be honest. I was a bit apprehensive.
Okay.
But actually, by the first halfway point, I was like, this is brilliant.
It was really enticing, wasn't it?
There's loads of good stuff in that. I was like, I can't believe I didn't, like you said, appreciate it the first time round as much.
What I really liked about the how it came in the film, like you said, it got about halfway through, about 1.5 hours, and I was like, holy shit, I could watch so much longer. Like, I started watching it last night, and I was like, I was tired, and I wanted to stay up and watch more. I was like, not normally an old film like that does it for me. And it's really cool how they introduce the characters one by one, like what they do now, and it goes back in time. They go through the memories. In the memories, they meet another person, and then you see what the other person's doing. Go back to the memories, and it's quite fluid.
But it's like by the time the whole Losers Club is together, the Lucky Seven are together.
Yeah.
You kind of look at them and you go, those are 7 clearly defined characters.
Yeah. Really, yeah.
Like in a really
well wrote.
They've got this kind of like, he plays with the idea of childlike innocence and kind of assigning certain characteristics to a character because they're children.
Goonies.
Yeah, it's very Goonies in that respect. And embraces that whole summer love in America that they have. Yeah. Not like, summer loving happens so fast. Met a girl crazy for me.
It really... Oh, God, that's so cringy, but that's really bad. Like, genuinely. You put me off. No, it really does. It embraces that. It has this childlike nostalgia about the whole thing.
Yeah.
This...
Even
before it gets scary.
Even when stuff is going down in the past when they're kids, all the stuff in between where they're playing around is still like, it's still very bathed in
like
sunlight. There's a warmth
like
to everything. Yes. Very happy in between those segments happening. Which, what a great contrast.
Yeah, and again, well, contrast is the clown as well. We'll go on to that. The bits in between.
Yep.
Fucking scared me.
Which bits? All of them.
Well, yeah, well, a lot of it. His fucking way, his teeth and that. He's all like, well, we're going about the contrast. Pennywise, the clown, played by Tim Curry, fucking amazing. He's all like happy and go lucky. He's all like joking like this. Then like that, he turns and he does that thing with his teeth like that. Oh, I'm like, no.
I know.
Honestly, one of the first parts. I think it was when George is going to the sewer, because I always remember that with the boat scene. He's in the sewer.
Yep.
No shit, I had my hand. You know what? I'm like watching a horror film. Yeah. I was like that watching it.
It's like,
I can't do it.
I think that scene has become arguably the most iconic from this whole thing.
Absolutely.
And I do think the film suffers a little bit from the fact that it peaks so early on, which is that scene's very, very early, and to me it's still my favourite scene in the film. Yeah. Where George is running after the boat, and then he has the conversation through the sewer grate with him.
We're not strangers anymore.
Everything floats down here, Georgie.
That's quite good, Andy. Actually,
thanks.
He uses that saying a lot, doesn't he? They all float.
Yeah, everything floats or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's a reference to the sewer.
So it's Stephen King, isn't it?
Stephen King, based on the book.
All work and no play makes
Stephen King a nasty boy.
Off The Shining, just so you know. Not Stephen King, nasty boy. Jack, isn't it? Johnny?
Johnny.
Jack.
Here's Johnny.
No, it's Jack. When he writes it, it's Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyway. So, it's quite scary, the little parts in between. And it's really interesting to see how the characters pick up on this. Like, the kids pick up on that, and they get terrified. And you see how it changes over when they're an adult. And they're like, the guy with the ponytail, by the way. What a great ponytail.
I don't know, it's a ponytail.
I'm joking, right? And the kids go like this, and the guy's like that. And you can see how they're still terrified.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I hate that moment.
I know,
I hate that moment so much.
But I'm using it as an example because the characters, in terms of the film, are still scared. They're still like this.
Yeah.
And too right they should be. I'm how old am I? 26. And I was scared. I found it quite scary.
And what I love about the horror in this, all the scary moments, I don't think any of it throughout the entire film is jump scare.
No, it's not. That's it though. That's it, Andy. It's not jump scare. It's not gore. If you take away the blood, blood's all right. But if you take away, some people aren't good with blood. Take away, you don't have any gore in it. All it is just pure fucking horror. It uses your fears against you.
Yeah. There's no
family and stuff.
There's no quick cutting to confuse you and get your adrenaline pumping.
Yeah.
Instead, the film's really slow paced.
Yeah.
Which lets you it lets the uncomfortable, unsettling feelings creep in instead.
Yeah.
It's great.
And it's the contrast I was saying earlier of how he's so happy, he's so like this, how he's got his balloons. Have you heard about that guy? Just a slight tangent. There was a guy, I think it was Nottingham. You must have seen some articles going around this. It was before this clown shit kicked off. Fuck that. There was a guy in Nottingham and he dressed up as a clown with balloons just waving at people in the street as they were driving by.
I do, yeah. It was
a few years ago.
Was it Nottingham? It's wherever Alan Moore lives because people thought it was Alan Moore at one point.
Did they? Mate, that's fucking funny. So it's how he's really happy. He's like waving all this. He's like, hi there, like this. And then suddenly he's just like that. I mean, it just changes or something happens and the kid's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So before we move on to Tim Allen, because we've got to speak a lot about him, how good was the chemistry between the kids and the child actors? Seth fucking Green, by the way. What the hell?
Tim Allen.
Please tell me it's Tim Allen. Tim Curry. Who's Tim Allen?
Tim Allen is the guy from Home Improvement.
Home Improvement?
Or from the Santa Claus.
That's my bad. Sorry there. Tim Curry, of course. Tim Curry, Rocky Horror stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That.
So, yeah, the kids, amazing. Genuinely amazing. To the point that I have... all this positive stuff about the film, I have a bit of a hang-up with it.
Do you mind me asking, is that to do with the adults?
Yeah. And you can break it down wonderfully because they broke it down for us. The first half of this film is great.
Yeah.
The second half, much weaker.
Yes.
And it's because what the first half is, it's about the kids with flash forwards to the adults.
Yeah.
The second half is about the adults with a few flashbacks to the kids.
Yep.
And the kids, weirdly, are way better than the adults. They're way more charismatic on screen. They've got a better chemistry. They're arguably written better.
I think so, yeah. I mean, if you think about they've all got the thing in the future. A couple of them are famous. One's an actor. The other's Time Man of the Year. There's a woman that she gets beat up, but don't really go on that. It's just a kind of an extension of her father, and she says it later on.
Yeah.
that's almost like it just feels not used enough. They're going about her getting beaten up, and then she's like, "I'll leave you" and stuff, and then that's how him and her get together. It just seems a bit weak. You got the guy who's a writer, and yes, fair enough, his lover comes into town, even though he fancies the girl that they used to be mates with before. What the fuck's going on with that love triangle? What the fuck's going on with that love triangle? That is one of the worst love triangles I've seen in a while.
Well, there's the love triangle
weird.
of those two with her, and then there's the fact that everyone is also kind of overly friendly with her.
Yeah, they're all like that, and she's always like kissing them. It's weird, isn't it?
Have you ever read the book?
No?
Do you want to know something really interesting?
Have you read the book?
No, I found this out this week though, because I was like, right, there's something going on with that weird, like, romance that's going on. Like, everyone's being way too touchy-feely with her. There's lots of odd imagery going on here. So, when they first defeat it, when they're kids in the sewers, in the book, after that happens,
orgy.
She sleeps with them all.
Fuck off.
She sleeps with all the kids.
They're like 10.
Yeah, I don't know what age they are in the book, but she sleeps with them all like one after the other. Sip on that.
Seriously?
Seriously, 100%.
Stephen King, man.
I know, and that's how they translated it to the film, was basically get rid of that scene and instead have this kind of like
touchy-feely relationship
imagery
with
stuff going on. Because I think it's meant to be she's clearly painted as this victim throughout the whole thing. Like she's victimized.
I didn't like her
by a dad. Like she's abused by a dad. Not sexually, but she's abused by a dad.
I didn't like the adult version. I wasn't. I was just like, fuck off, just go with one of them like this.
Yeah,
the kid one, I was like, yeah, she's gone through shit, like there's stuff with the blood, how everyone cleans up. That was cool. That was actually in the second part, but
And, again, clearly, I mean, the whole thing is kind of like an allegory for growing up in a lot of ways. Like so the justification I found online for why this orgy happens is that.
Can I just say, does she sleep with them one by one in the same night?
Oh yeah, all in the sewers.
That's fucking... What? In the sewers? What the fuck, Stephen?
The justification I found for this online was that's their moment of like leaving childhood and becoming adults. And it's also meant to be her conquering her own sexuality, which like her dad has been repressing for so long.
Mate, fucking hell.
You were expecting that from trivia time,
no,
were you?
I did not at all. Right, okay, so the love triangle's fucked up, and it's even more fucked up now.
Yep.
Can we move on to, not Tim Allen, but Tim Curry?
Tim Curry.
He fucking blows this away. Like, people always said Tim Curry, is 80s class. I do like Tim Curry, and little bits I've seen in there. Not a huge fan of Rocky Horror, but he was class in that. But fucking hell, I just realised why people have gone about...
Who is he in Rocky Horror?
He is the main gaffer, isn't he?
Beetlejuice.
No, but Beetlejuice isn't Rocky Horror.
Oh, sorry. Beetlejuice is Beetlejuice for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
He's the main gaffer in Rocky Horror, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I could be wrong. I'm sure he is. And him as it, like, he's so diverse.
Oh, it's such a wonderfully, like... I got to say nuanced performance, but it's not wholly nuanced. It's actually quite direct because he's being quite big and extravagant, but at times he pulls it back when he needs to. It's awesome.
It's all about, for me, it's all about those, the way he does his voice. It's all about, like, he's overly exertive. He's very, like, loud, like you said, and there's those little parts like, come here, I'll kill you, like that. Those little subtle, like,
yeah,
like that.
I love some of the way he delivers, like, the odd normal line as well. The stuff where he's talking to Georgie in the sewers. He has a weird way of moving his lip. It's like his bottom lip just moves in a slightly odd way. I don't know if that's because like the makeup was doing something, or if it's an intended.
When we talks and he's trying to be funny, he's just like ha, like that, and he keeps looking away like that.
Yeah.
As if trying to get a laugh and all this. Tim fucking Curry, mate. Jesus Christ, that was well played.
Right, if I was going to make a blind judgment based on the film we haven't seen yet of the remake, I'd say they're probably not going to be able to remake this film because of Tim Curry's performance. That's like a defining performance that he's given.
So I've seen about the clown of the new one and the new film. I don't know the guy who plays it. He's got like a very kind of Norwegian-y kind of name, with respect. And I think this is meant to do it, but the new clown on the new It has a fucking weird shaped head.
Yeah, I saw that. Kind of like more bulbous, yeah.
Which is actually creeps me out. So I think they've done well. But he's got weird teeth as well, hasn't he? Like rabbit teeth.
Yeah, something like that.
Whereas I like Tim Curry's, where it's just like he's like normal and he's just got this fucking ravaged fangs.
Yeah. Pennywise is awesome. Throughout the entire film, Pennywise is awesome. And then,
Do you feel a bit let down?
I think they really, really fuck it up.
Yeah.
With that spider.
Do you reckon that's partly because this film's shown its age with the effects of that spider? Don't get me wrong, I don't like spiders, so I was freaked out by it. But once you got past it, it was fucking horrible.
I think
but you got
a
past
little
it.
bit. Like, so the effects definitely haven't aged well. Like that's fair to say that the effects haven't aged well. But even if you took the effects away and you assumed that like they're top-notch, great effects, does it work in terms of storytelling? No, that spider comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it does. It does. You always know it's a creature. You don't know fully what it is. And you realise it's a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
It's true form. I'm not saying it's Stephen King in the end. And I know from what Stephen King is that his books are always like fucking amazing. Bar The Shining. The Shining is a great film. So what I'm trying to say is, really?
Yeah. Sorry. Side note: he hates The Shining.
Didn't know that. Okay, well, apparently his books are always better, original material and stuff. So you might have done it better in the books, is what I'm trying to say. In the film, like you said, it came out of nowhere, and it feeds on people. I loved how they played in people's fears. If you ever seen a film called Event Horizon, really good, and it's a similar kind of thing. It feeds off your fear. So it would be nice to have this thing, this blinding light, but to everyone who was looking at it, it was their worst fear. So it would have been Georgie blinding them. It would have been their dad blinding them. It would have been, whoever. It'd be nice to have this collective, this person that was this like kind of...
A little bit like they do in the sewer the first time.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to resist it and Georgie appears and her dad appears and tries to...
But if it was this person, that like a combination of them all, it's like a mutated form, that would have been cool. But the spider was just like... If I wasn't scared of spiders like I am now, unfortunately, it would have been... Probably like from your end of the spectrum, it'd be like, yeah, that was a bit lackluster.
Yeah,
and then what did they do? They
just kind of came out of nowhere and they pull its brain out?
Yeah, they pull its legs off or something and then pull its brain out.
The funniest
and then
moment
hold it like that, don't they?
They run over to it and like push it over. It's so funny.
Fuck you, it. Fuck you.
Which it just let down because Tim Curry had just like eaten up every scene that he'd been in.
It would have been nice. It'd be nice to end with Tim Curry and just like...
So...
Because he fucking nailed it.
To me... This film ends at the halfway point. And that's a film itself.
No, it can't end at the start. Well, I guess they defeat it, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. It's a film itself.
Yeah. Yeah, but I love what they do later on. Like, I love how they go in the law.
Yeah, there is some good stuff.
I wish I played more of the guy with a knife, about him coming back and doing stuff. And
Harry?
Yeah.
Oh, God, do you remember... Sorry, one little thing. One of my favourite little moments, I've got to show it down here. When they're in the sewer with the kids... And his mate, is he called Belch or whatever he's called, the guy who keeps burping, gets sucked into the pipe. I just like, that's horror imagery right there. That's horror imagery you don't have to cut around, that's horror imagery you don't have to like CG.
Well, it's like you said, there's no jump scares. And it's that part where he faces the Harry guy, the knife guy, the evil baddie person, and you just see this light on his face. And him going his head going back.
Yeah,
that's kind of stuff in horror is scary for me because they describe how it's this. Is it called death light or something?
Dead light.
Dead light, and this guy's like enticed by this dead light, and it's just for me. That's just like I want to know what you're seeing, but I don't as well. And that like sense of mystery is more terrifying than a fucking spider.
Yeah.
Well, not for me, but in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it, Stephen King. You can let us know in the comments below what you thought of it, or you can hit us up on Twitter as well. It's a very interesting film. I think it's got a lot going for it and also got a lot going
Miniseries
against it. Sorry, miniseries, yeah. And we might talk about the new one at some point as well. We'll see. Next week, though, we'll be back once again with another episode of Film Club where we will be watching Safety Not Guaranteed.
Yeah, I nearly forgot that. Safety Not Guaranteed with... If you watch Parks and Recreation, it's with Audrey.
I've seen like an episode.
It's the young intern. She's great. She's also got Pilgrim, the one with the... How are you doing that?
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. But yeah, it's with her. That's next week. Thank you very much, and see you later.
See you later.